Good morning. Good morning. Glad to have you here. Please let me know you are here. Thank you for being with us on today. Hey, sunshine. Good morning. Good to have you. You're here. Yay. Already? Okay. Good. Good morning, my joy. Good morning, Reverend Collins and Brandon, Mississippi in the house. Yes. I didn't know you were coming so soon. That's great. Wonderful. All right. Today we are going to talk about the power and the beauty of vulnerability. And that's a real touchy subject for most of us. Good morning, Miss Lucy. It's a very touchy subject for most of us because being vulnerable is sometimes uneasy. It makes us nervous. It makes us wonder if we really want to show people that side of us. We especially as African American, and I'm going to say African American women, we've learned not to show our hurt. We've learned not to show our vulnerability. We've learned not to show, we've got that never let them see you sweat mindset. And in some situations that's a good thing. But when it comes to life and living and making sure that those that you love know that you may have needs, there is power and beauty in your vulnerability. 2 Corinthians 12:9 says this. I want to get the scripture on out here and then I can take it back out. The scripture says this: my grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. And so that means that even when we are struggling with weakness, in the power of God, we're never really weak. God's strength shows up in God's grace. And so when we are going through times and situations where we are hurting or where we are trying to regain equilibrium after kind of being off track, sometimes that puts us in a place of vulnerability. I told you I was going to be transparent this morning, and I am. I'm transparent in this regard. There are times when you need to do things for yourself that it takes being vulnerable to the people around you so that they know you have needs. I'm one of those persons where I really don't ever let you see me sweat. People don't typically see me cry. They don't typically see me going through any emotional turmoil because I know emotions don't have a brain. And so I'm very logical, very cerebral. But there comes a time, and there are times when it's important to be vulnerable because it's in our vulnerability that people see our humanity. See, it's hard for most people to deal with someone who they never see feel. And sometimes in our quest to be strong or our quest to not feel or look weak, we also look inhumane. We look like we're lacking humanity. And so while, yes, you got to be careful and discerning, and God will give you that, those whom you can be transparent with, those who you can show those levels of your vulnerability. I'm not saying wear your heart on your sleeve and run out there and tell everybody what you're going through, but God will show you when to do that. And God will show you that even when you feel like persons can't handle what you are dealing with, what you are going through, that God will show you those places and those people and those who love you enough to care for you in your vulnerability. Most of the time when we are going through things and we're dealing with unforgiveness or dealing with not feeling loved, it's because we're not giving love in return. We're not showing a place of vulnerability. Now, again, everybody's not that place to show it because some people like to remind you of your vulnerability. That's not the person to talk to. The person who knows that in your vulnerability is still your strength. Because in order for me to share this with you, I had to have enough courage to know that I am sharing something that's important to my heart. But not only do I have to have courage, I have to have enough trust in you. That's why we say take your burdens to the Lord and leave them there, because we know that that's the one place that you can go to and be absolutely vulnerable and know that grace is sufficient. But I would that we would learn that it's necessary for us to find some human folk, that we are able to be free enough, that we are able to have enough trust in, that we can share our hearts, and that they're strong enough, that they're not weak in their care for us, that they are able to receive that and then join us at that place that helps us. Sometimes helping someone with what they're going through is inconvenient. But if it doesn't hurt you, do your best to try to be there. So one of the things that I'm learning as I turned another age on yesterday, and I'm grateful to God for these 26 years, I'm dyslexic, of life. I'm grateful for that. But I also know that I've spent the majority of them never letting my heart show, except in times of sadness or in times of elated joy. But there comes some times when we've got to be able to say, hey, I'm struggling with this. And if you will partner with me in some life situations, then maybe it'll help me get through this. I need to try to do this, but I can't do it on my own. I'm struggling with what I used to be able to do by myself. I can't do that by myself anymore. Will you hear my heart and help me? That's difficult. That's a place of vulnerability. That's an opening of our hearts and opening of ourselves in ways that some of us have a hard time with. However, the blessing, the power, and the beauty of our vulnerability means this, that we know that we are whole people, and that just like I have strength, I have weakness. And that's a balance of life. Weakness is not our curse. Weakness says I'm human and I have needs. And so as we go and do and are trying to be there for others, we've got to also find those places. That's right, daughter dear, that we've got to have some intentional vulnerability, because it's hard to carry all the burdens by yourself. It's hard to carry your burdens and the burdens of those you love and everything else that is going on in this world, because it's a mess out here. It's hard to carry all of that and not have a place where you say, hey, I just need to breathe. Can I breathe in your presence? I don't need you to answer my problems. I don't need you to fix anything. I just need to be able to be open and honest and say, I need some help. I'm hurting. I'm going through something. I'm striving to do something, but life is making it difficult for me. Will you pray with me? Will you share with me? Will you join with me? And will you pray with me? Will you pray for me? Huh. So I pray for each of you. I guess my encouragement is also a prayer request for you and from you, that we allow ourselves to care enough for one another, that we present a place where we can be free to be human, because there is power and beauty in vulnerability, and we all need a little help sometimes. I remember an old Beatles song said, I get by with a little help from my friends. But I'm hoping that we're not just getting by. I want us to thrive and to be the best us we can be, and knowing that in doing that, there's going to be some times when I have to show myself and trust that God gives you a heart to be able to receive that and to be prayerful and loving and caring in the midst of it. Nothing cataclysmic. I'm not going through any major thing. Just life and living. And life and living sometimes is enough. So I'll pray for you. You pray for me. And we will watch God change some things. Care for yourself, but care enough for yourself to find some people, a person that you can be vulnerable with. I don't mean a clinical person, and therapy is important and is necessary, but I mean someone who cares about you, with whom you can be vulnerable with, and to be able to lay some of the things that are going on in you out there, lay them on the table, and know they will not be crushed, they will not be thrown away, they will be picked up and cared for, and you will be able to move to the next level, knowing that you have had the beauty and the power of vulnerability. Remember, what makes us beautiful is our vulnerability. We can't be super women, super men all the time. May God bless you. May heaven smile on you. May you find a place where you can be all that you are. The good, the bad, the flaws, the fabulous. And know that in that place, you are able to be vulnerable and open. And know that you will be cared for. God bless you. I will see you soon. In the meantime, embrace the power and the beauty of vulnerability and be encouraged. See you soon.